I'm Greg Smith out here in West Point, Texas, and welcome to my dome. After doing several years of research, I decided that James and Good Karma was probably the way to go. They had the best construction techniques and the best plan overall, and followed Bucky's format a lot closer than most other people. So about a year and a half ago, I reached out to James, and we had kind of a constricted email conversation for a while, but he sent me his DVD. And after I watched that DVD, and especially the framing component where they gave the examples of how the construction was actually done of the components, that was enough to sell me. And that's when I went ahead and reached out again and said, all right, let's sit down and talk. Now, we did a lot of this over the phone and email, but I'm sure much to James' dismay, I said, before we do anything, we're going to sit down across the table with a glass of tea so I can look you in the eye and see if I like you. And I think the result's probably pretty evident because we struck a deal. And I'm pleased to say that the end product is about as high quality as you could get. And I believe the signature point of that is, now James had coached me for 2 weeks, telling me when you get to the very end, the last 5 triangles, that's where the problems always end up coming in. And I believe from the time those 5 triangles were staged until the last one fell into place was something like 41 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, they almost jumped into place.
Yeah.
And the only way that could have happened would have been if all the framing all the way around was right.
Oh.
It's a good dome, and I look forward to finishing it, and I'll keep you updated. I'm not going to just leave you hanging at this. As I get components complete, I'll take you pictures. And
tell them about your Facebook, where they can visit if they want to.
I have a Facebook page, and there's a lot of dome pictures on there. You can search for me under Greg Smith in West Point, Texas, and see the pictures. They're open to the public. But you'll see pictures from bare dirt through the forming of the foundation, putting the steel in, pouring the concrete, all the way up to present point when we put the last 5 panels in yesterday morning. So there's a pretty broad picture there of what it takes to build a dome and how the process works.
And tell us about what kind of job do you do? What kind of work do you do, Greg?
I'm a safety professional. I do job site inspections, program development, safety management overall. So dealing with a carpenter for 2-3 weeks on the job site has been a joy indeed, I tell you.
We've had our moments, but it's come together well here at the end.
It has indeed. It was strenuous and a little tedious in the beginning, but though not necessarily patient by nature, I managed to swallow my tongue a time or two, and we made it through this, and the product is outstanding.
Yeah, and it was hot. Tell them.
Oh, it's not hot. It's only mid-90s.
I've lost 20 pounds down here in the last month.
No, I don't think you've lost that much.
Let's see the dome.
This will be the front entry of the dome. It's going to have a small sheltered porch, and then I'll start the main wall. Back about where the edge of this plywood runs, you have a stone facade on the front and a double door with glass panels, probably 2 small aeration windows where we can get some cross ventilation through.
Yeah, and this is a good representation of what you get for an extension. This is what a basic extension looks like.
This is indeed a basic extension,
okay, lacking
2 pieces of plywood, which I asked to have left out.
Yeah. And so we're coming in the front doors here.
Coming in the front door.
Now this is like most of my customers. No, I don't sell floor plans. I tell people, find your own floor plan or develop it. This is Greg's design. He's going to tell you about it.
Well, what we have here is a 3 extension dome. As you saw, the first extension will be the main entry. Off to your right, that extension, it will be the master bathroom. So the master bedroom will be out this side of that. In the front, you see open triangle windows, which will be the living room. Off to the left, you see the 3rd extension. That will be a kitchen with a bifolding glass wall. Outside of that will be decked out under the trees for some outside entertainment, grilling, whatever happens to be the case for
that.
Hot tub, or be around a little further.
Yeah.
But my plan is to have a small guest room with a full bath to the left before that extension. and then the center part will be open with a 5 to 6 foot cup type fire pit, which will go up all the way then, of course, and exhaust to the ceiling.
This is a 45-foot dome with a 32-inch riser and 3 extensions, 2 by 6 with 3/4 inch plywood. And
Total out 1,855 square feet. Just
so if you add half a loft on this, you're probably talking another 800 square
it's
feet.
790, I believe, or 760, according to the math on your website.
Yeah.
But you walk over here a little bit further towards the kitchen area. My plan is to have a wraparound counter, 2 level, and then counters on each side, making the kitchen open from the living room and then flow right on out to the outside. The entire idea is to have the outside visible almost any direction that you turn and give it a very light and open feel. Today we discovered that there's a significant amount of indirect light, which really makes a comfortable interior without a lot of direct heat load, which is exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, it's a lot cooler in here for sure. I mean, you get a little breeze in here too, all those windows. And you're talking, you're thinking we're going to take out some of this interior blocking in the triangles.
That's correct.
He's got a friend that's a structural engineer and an architect that's going to come out and look at the possibility of taking those blocks out.
These will come
Those support.
out, she's correct. And so you only have the 9 major triangles.
Yeah.
And then these lower rectangles will be opposing open casement style windows.
Right.
So I'll be able to open them in either direction and draft wind through and then exhaust it out any one of the 3 areas.
Yeah. And that's a good looking window. I like that. And you know, it doesn't cost a whole lot of money to have, well, it doesn't cost you any money to have me frame something like that up. I mean,
The main cost was the actual windows.
Yeah.
1 inch thick, double pane tempered glass with a dead air space and a low E coating. This is a view looking at what is the front room of the dome, or the main living room. So as you look in here, you can just reverse this, and this is what you see around you is what you'll see looking out, which is normally rabbits and squirrels, occasionally wild hogs, and with some regularity deer.
And deer.
So it's a pretty nice spot out here for a dome. And one of the other reasons I decided finally to go with a dome instead of a timber beam construction or some other options was the shape of the trees around us. And if you'll notice, you have a lot of umbrella type coverage here with these large cedars.
Right.
So the dome really fit into the clearing a lot more readily and merged better than a rectangular or any other shape would have. So more of a harmony and flow with the country that we're in.
And how long have you known about domes?
I probably started looking haphazardly at domes about 7 years ago.
About 7 years ago.
Went off into log construction, came back away from that, looked at some timber beam construction, came back to the domes, looked at several different manufacturers, finally, through searching, ran across Good Karma domes, and the more I read about how it was true to the history of the geodesic principle, the more I thought this was the better structure.
So what was it about the dome? Was it the efficiency, the mechanical, the strength of it, or was it the aesthetics?
Yes.
All that
All
stuff?
of that.
Yeah.
It was a very good combination of a lot of really positive things.
Yeah, why you went instead of like a timber frame or something else. That's very good. That's smart. Yeah, and there's no reason why this dome won't be here for 300 years. And I got to tell you, of all the slabs I've worked on, whoever did this, Greg's slab, he's a perfectionist because everything is within 1/8 of an inch, just like my framing. I've done a lot of concrete work, but this guy, he sets the standard.